summer of '73, I was working as a salesman in a boutique and singing semi-professionally with a group called the Fabulosa Brothers in Teesside, which is in the north of England. Each week I was reading in the musical press and hearing stories about Deep Purple still looking for a vocalist, hearing many names mentioned. And a friend suggested I should send a tape in and asked me what I had to lose, and basically the answer was nothing. The only tape I had was from a very drunken recording session. So I sent that in, and a photograph which was 3 years old. And fortunately this led to an audition and eventually to my position as lead singer with Deep Purple. In September of '73, after joining Deep Purple, I was told that we'd taken over a castle in Wales, Clearwell Castle in fact, for a month to rehearse and write material. This castle is about 600 years old. We took over the whole place, which was quite amusing really, because it was at times, on several days of the week, it was open to the public, and we would be sitting in the banqueting hall having breakfast or lunch, and it was as if a sign had been put up, come and see the hippies, or come and see the rock musicians eating, like a zoo thing. And they all wandered through while we were eating, taking away with all the silver candelabra all over the place. We were writing and rehearsing in the crypt, which is a little hair-raising, and on several occasions we had seances. And the last one of these, which convinced us to stop, was when we had the previous owner of the castle, who asked us to ask his wife to suggest that we stop using so much electricity. So we were a little freaked out about that. So we stopped turning on stereos and electric fires and just concentrated on the minimal amount of equipment. After writing that, which was a very successful period, we went to Switzerland, Montreux in fact, where we booked a hall for recording with the Stones track for a month. The reason we went to Montreux was in fact the same reason as Clearwell, just to have peace and quiet with no distraction, no material distraction whatsoever, to get the job done really, so we could all concentrate on writing and recording. Montreux, at the time we went over, was at the end of the season and the majority of places were closed. So, in fact, all we had to do was record. We found out we didn't need the month. We got the album done in 10 days, which we were all very pleased about. The majority of the rehearsal and writing we did in Clearwell was purely musical. Glenn and I had more or less worked out the melody lines, but we'd been concentrating too much on preparing the music to start work on the lyrics. So we decided to hold back until we got to Montreux, when we'd have more time. We tried to approach the lyrics in a different sense, to try and give Purple a different sound entirely. One particular song, we tried to put down in the words how things had changed for us since getting the position with Deep Purple. Glenn, for instance, had been in a reasonably successful band called Trapeze, and to a certain extent had the pats on the back from people for being a musician in a main band, and he found that once he got the job with Deep Purple, there was a lot more people patting him on the back and calling him friend and inviting him out, and I found that absolutely to a ridiculous extent, that people, a lot of people who didn't want to know me before, didn't even smile or anything whatsoever, want to take me out to dinner and wine and dine me, advise me where to spend money and things, and come into business with them. And we tried to put this down in words, and eventually this particular tune we decided after long discussions to put out as a single, and that's Might Just Take Your Life. of the tunes on the album, a really high-tempo number, we had recorded the backing track, but we were getting a little stuck for an idea to put in lyric-wise. I was speaking to Richie Blackmore one evening, and he said that every time he played the tune, he could imagine some form of 16th century witch creating havoc, and he couldn't get this out of his head. So Glenn and I discussed this and spent 8 hours or so working on this idea, and we came up with what we feel was a very successful, surreal image of a witch going berserk, threatening people, you know, to do like a devil's emissary, threatening to create all sorts of chaos if they didn't do as she said. And this, funnily enough, is an extension we extended from the idea of this song to the cover of the album, which includes candles burning, which is a little Dennis Wheatley black magic thing. And eventually the track evolved into a thing called Burn. A lot of people have asked me which is my personal favourite track on the album, and without a doubt I can say the blues track on the second side, which is purely a simple song, emotional experience. It's a very difficult song to sing, but the satisfaction afterwards is marvellous. I think a lot of people can identify with this particular track, I think called Mistreated. When we were approached and asked about a single, we had great discussions about having, we had two particular songs, and it was really in the balance which one we decide for the single. One of the tunes has an unusual guitar riff from Richie and synthesizer from John, which is unusual because John is usually playing organ, and we were considering this particular song because of its different sound. It had more of a sound of the newer Deep Purple. It's a Direction song lyrically. It's a thing called Sail Away.
Right, we're talking with Glenn Hughes now. Glenn, how did it come about that you originally got the offer or heard about the vacancy and joined Deep Purple?
Purple saw me playing a year previous to when I joined in Los Angeles about 3 or 4 times, and they really, got off on what I was doing, and the band too, and so the rest of the guys. And they complimented. They said, "Oh, really nice," and they let us do that because they were being really smart about it. And I didn't know, I just didn't understand. And then I went back home to London, and they were coming to see me there, and we were just good friends, all just good friends. And after about 9 months of just friendship and going around to the house and everything, they asked me to join.
When you joined the band, your initial reaction to stepping into something so big, obviously you weren't worried about your own talents, but it must have been hard to adjust.
Yeah, it's hard to adjust at first because of the headlining all the time, you know, everywhere.
The tension, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, but only for a little while though, just for about 10 gigs, that's all. That's all. And after that, I just didn't bother at all. You know, I just felt normally casually about it. Never think about it. I just get off on playing in the band. You know, we just get off musically. We don't put out this little teeny bopper image, as you'll see, but we do create a lot of energy on stage.
So you in fact disagree with the title that's been hung on the band of heavy metal?
I hate that word.
Why is
No band deserves that tag because it's just a what a tag! Like heavy metal is like somebody banging, you know, Deep Purple or Deep Purple. That's it.
On the Stormbringer album, Glenn, what's your favourite track?
Hard to say, really. I enjoyed singing Holy Man, but I'd probably go off most playing and singing Hold On. But there's lots of different kinds of music, you know, a lot more varied, so I'm really pleased with it.
Yeah, Ian wants to live at that. So.
Yeah, the title track, Stormbringer, written by Richie and David. The idea was initially Richie's, the guitarist. We tried to get a similar feel to Don Nix's Going Down, which is what the rhythm is, basically, with a slightly more complex chord structure. There's not much more to it than that, other than David's sort of mysterious, sort of mythical lyrics.
Coming out of nowhere, dropping like rain, storming a dance on the thunder again. Dark cloud gathering, breaking the day. No one running 'cause it's coming your way. Ride the rainbow, crack the sky. Storming a time to die. You gotta get running. Storming a it's not nothing to lead. It's gonna make you bleed.
Any particular reason for picking this one out as the title track and calling the album after Stormbringer?
It just seemed like the most logical name. It seems like a name that you could easily remember. None of the other tracks have a title which is that sort of immediate. Things like Hold On and Holy Man, whatever you care to pick out, they're just titles. There's nothing unusual about them, but the Stormbringer's an unusual word.
Where'd you get the name Stormbringer from?
Originally, it's some author wrote a book called Stormbringer. It's about a legendary sword of one of the gods, you know, which meted out vengeance and all that sort of things to evildoers. Somebody just remembered the word, and the lyrics hung on to that sort of idea of the gods thing.
Love don't mean a thing.
Yeah, that was interesting. We bought the basis of the song from a guy in the States, little black guy who just came and said, hey, hello man, I sing and I write songs. And he had the basic chord structure of Love Don't Mean a Thing. At that time he called it Money. So we bought the thing off him. We did a straight financial deal and bought what he had off him. Then we took it to rehearsals with us and rewrote the other 50-60% of it. And it turned out to be Love Don't Mean a Thing. It's just about a rather nasty guy who likes having his chicks earn his money for him.
A controversial track on the album, Lady Double Dealer. Any particular lady in mind when it was written?
Well, David knows lots of weird ladies, and I think he must have a secret fantasy about evil chicks, you know, because he writes so many things about chicks screwing him up, and that's a more typical Deep Purple rock and roll thing. As you can see, like, it's just Richie and David wrote that one together, and that sort of fast rock and roll thing goes back to Richie's roots, like 4,000 years ago. And with David's thing about evil chicks, there you have the song.
Get out of my way, I get inside of you. Rainbow times to what you wanna do. Up and down, 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 down. Couldn't get my feet back on the road. Ready to the dealer, get out of my way. Ready to the dealer. I ain't satisfied dealing with second-hand goods. You want something that not deal, taking everything he could. You've been wild, I got the blues.
We're not great believers in making singles. If there's a track that could be a single on an album, we release it. We don't really worry about singles too much. That just seemed to be the right one to release because it was the right time, it was the right sort of tempo for discotheques, people to dance to. You'd have to ask him what. I still can't understand the chorus line on that, because he goes, you can't do it right with the one you love. And I would have thought that would be the one you could do it right with, whatever it is. But you'd have to ask Glenn and David about that, because they wrote that.
Do you notice much of a difference with the type of material that Glenn and David are writing now back in the early days?
Yeah, David and Glenn's influences are obviously a little different from our own, because they're a few years younger. And there's a greater black influence from the two of them. So when you mix it together, you get a sort of nice sort of brown music. What have we got left?
We're up to the highball shooter.
Highball shooter, yeah. This we sort of started it and we weren't quite sure of it. The track didn't seem to hang together in the early stages. Then David and I got together on the lyrics on that. I had this title that I liked, the Highball Shooter, and we put the lyrics down. It started to sound a little better, and then there was still something missing on it, and we found a big church pipe organ. So John dubbed the pipe organ on, and it seemed to give the whole thing a lot more of a party feel. And then it sort of started to hang together. Again, it's about a nasty chick.
You mentioned before that was it the Gypsy that was your favourite track?
Yeah.
Any chance of that becoming the single?
People have been asking us that. The trouble with releasing singles is not that you want to release, it's what the radio stations are prepared to play. And you have to look at it very realistically, in that your main market as far as record sales go, is the USA. And for single plays, you've got to cater to the AM radio stations, and they have now brought in a stipulation that anything over 325 just doesn't get airplay, and that is a 450 something rather. And so, as I say, it's right as it is. To chop it up would be a crime. I'd rather do away with, say, 500,000 single sales and keep the thing a complete unit. That I think is everybody's favourite track. It happened in about 2 hours. Richie just played about 4 notes descending, going down on guitar, and I turned and said, we've got to do that. And he said, well, I don't know what we're going to do with it. So I said, let's repeat it 2 or 3 times, and then sort of go into a drone thing in the middle. It was all very, very loose, and we just went through it 3 or 4 times and started to get the idea and the arrangement of it. And all of a sudden it started gelling and hanging together. I say within 2 hours the thing was virtually finished. And it's really the sort of, to me it's the class track on the album. It's just, it's right. There's nothing else I would want to do to it. Where if you look at the other tracks, maybe there's 2 or 3 things you might say, well, I wish we'd done that, or I wish we hadn't done that. But that one is right. Then we come to sort of like the last one, which is Soldier of Fortune. Again, Richie and David's writing coming together again. Richie just had this chord sequence and he played it to David, and David sort of did a somersault and said, I've got to write some words for it. And it came out with just the story of a guy who sort of never really finds what he wants and always has to keep changing and moving on. It's really pretty. It's very much like a hymn, you know, just the way it's put together. And then towards the end we dubbed on John playing a mellotron with some strings and, you know, violins and cellos and some flutes. It's sort of very pretty and a very unusual ending for a Deep Purple album.
It's a song which you all know. I don't want to see anybody sitting down. Do you hear me? I want to see you all standing up and doing something to your old lady or old man or something. Special writer. Woo-hoo. I'm a special writer. Yes, indeed. You got to turn your love light on me. You got to turn your love light on me, baby. Oh, yeah, yeah. You got to. Woo-hoo. want to hear anybody. You can dance. I know y'all can dance. I've been admiring the French way of dancing for some time. Come on. you know me well. John, oh. I wanna see everybody's asses shaking to the right. I wanna see everybody's asses shaking to the left. I wanna see everybody's asses shaking up my mama spine. You gotta love me, baby. I don't stand for none of you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ouch. Yeah, yeah. Get y'all this one. Yeah, yeah. I love you, baby. I love you so. I need you, baby. Don't you know? Come to me, woman. Hey, right. Every night. You know what I'm talking about. You know it's going to be alright. Yes, I know that you love me. I guess I do. Ouch! Mercy, mercy, mercy on my soul. Ooh, listen to this bit. Listen. I know that you really do. Listen to this. I know that you love Listen, I know that you really do. Come on. Woo! bless you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. We love